Well, the Eagles were definitely not expecting this, as for the second time this season, one of their mid-season additions has left the team, but this time, it seems like it could have opened up an unexpected opportunity for them, so let's break all that down. Plus, we have some new A.J. Brown drama that everyone's freaking out over as he continues to seem unhappy with his role in the offense, but is this actually a problem? Well, let's talk about that and all the other latest Eagles news starting right now. So just when you thought the Eagles roster was pretty much set for the rest of the season, we got some news that I don't think anybody, including the Eagles themselves, were expecting. Matter of fact, they definitely weren't expecting this, otherwise they wouldn't have even made this trade in the first place. But as I'm sure you've all seen by now, the news that I'm referring to is that the Birds' newest cornerback, Jaire Alexander, has made the decision to step away from football to focus on getting right physically and mentally, and is even contemplating retirement. And in fact, on Wednesday morning, the Eagles placed Alexander on the reserve/retired list while activating Jacorian Bennett from IR. So first off, this is obviously not ideal for the Eagles. I mean, they traded for Alexander for a reason. Some people, including myself, thought that he actually had a chance to earn the starting job at outside cornerback opposite Quinyon Mitchell. You know, he seemed to be moving well during practice last week. He seemed to be excited and in high spirits when talking to the media. And just to remind you, he said that he felt really good physically last week. So again, this is obviously a little bit of a shock now that he's decided to step away. And side note, it's crazy to think that this is now the second time this season that the Eagles have signed a player in the middle of the year, and then they've spontaneously retired or stepped away, with the other one obviously being Zadarius Smith. This is even more extreme though, because Alexander literally just got here last week, and he never even played a game for the Eagles. Now, all that said, as much as this really does stink for Philly, and it also stinks that we likely are not going to get to see Jaire Alexander in an Eagles uniform, I still 100% support his decision and commend him for it. I mean, I'm sure constantly battling with these injuries doesn't just take a toll on him physically, but also mentally. And it sounds like he's just not in the best place right now, so if taking a step back from football is what he needs to do right now to get right, then I completely support that decision. I mean, as we talked about with the events of last week, mental health is very real, and you never know what someone's going through. So whatever's going on, I wish Jaire Alexander nothing but the best. And drop a like down below for him. And also, I just wanted to take this opportunity to remind you guys that I got a fundraiser going on right now for the American Foundation for Prevention. You should see it linked below this video, so you can go donate to that if you want. All proceeds go directly to them. Moving on though, obviously Alexander's decision to step away from the team does change things for the Eagles at the cornerback position, and even with the trade deadline now in the past, it's got some people wondering if the Eagles could possibly look to make another addition. And if they wanted to, there's very obviously one player in particular that could make a lot of sense, and also that Eagles fans have had a lot of interest in for a long time. That, of course, being Asante Samuel Jr. As now, here in mid-November, Samuel Jr. is finally medically cleared to play after undergoing a spinal fusion this offseason. Now, he did just go on a little bit of a free agency tour, visiting with a few different teams, but not with the Eagles. And then he eventually cut that short to actually sign with the Steelers practice squad. So currently, that's where he's at. And it's, probably pretty likely that he just stays there. And, maybe at some point they'll eventually elevate him to the active roster because they do have some issues in their secondary as well. But since he is on their practice squad and not the active roster currently, the Eagles technically could still sign him if they wanted to. And Samuel Jr.'s dad and former Eagle Asante Samuel really added fuel to the fire there when he tweeted out these eyeball emojis in response to Jaire Alexander stepping away, hinting that, maybe his son could look to sign with Philly now. Now look, this is all just speculation. I mean, for all we know, the Eagles might not have interest in him. Maybe they feel okay about the guys that they do still have. And we also don't even know how healthy Samuel Jr. is, but when he was healthy, he was a really good and promising player. And if both sides had interest, I still think this would make a ton of sense. So, I'm not necessarily expecting anything to happen here, but I am going to keep my eye on it. That said, though, the Eagles actually do have a lot to be happy about at the cornerback position right now. I mean, obviously, they got their star duo in Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, both of which are having great seasons. And Q specifically has just been locked down this year and might even be on his way to an all-pro selection, as Anthony DeBona pointed out here, as he's allowed just 25 catches on 55 targets all year per PFF, and he's also allowed the lowest passer rating, that being 60.3, and the lowest completion percentage, that being 45.5% of all defensive backs with over 500 snaps this year, which is just absolutely insane. I mean, if you haven't realized by now, the Eagles have a bona fide star and one of the best corners in the entire league in Quinyon Mitchell, so we should be super, super excited about that. And then as far as the cornerback 2 position goes, obviously that's been the spot that everyone's been worried about, but recently things have been trending up there. I mean, again, Jacorian Bennett's coming back, Healy Ringo's last performance was actually really good, and in this past game against the Packers, Adoree Jackson actually performed really well as the starter, allowing just 4 catches on 6 targets for only 23 yards. And since week 1, Jackson actually hasn't allowed more than 38 yards in any game. So again, things are definitely looking up there, and I think we do have reason to be cautiously optimistic moving forward. Moving on from that though, even with the news about Jaire Alexander and that whole situation, the big story going around recently is the latest quote-unquote drama on A.J. Brown. As I'm sure you've all seen by now, AJ was on Commanders fan Jany Rondo's Twitch stream on Tuesday night. Shout out to him, by the way, because I actually think he's hilarious. But the two of them are friends. They were playing Madden against each other. And during their back and forth conversation, AJ made some comments about his recent lack of touches and involvement in the offense that a lot of people have taken the wrong way.
Everything been good though? Like you know what I'm saying? Everything been straight? You know what I'm saying? Mental good, kids good, you know what I'm saying? Wife good, everything?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Where
have you been?
No, I'm just checking up. Like, you my dog. Like, I still got, you know what I'm saying? I gotta check up, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like family good, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else, no.
Man, everything gonna click, bro. Chat, chill, look. Everything gonna click, bro. Trust me.
Shit show. Awesome. How you been? Yeah, I've been, struggling, brother. If you got me on fantasy, man, get rid of me. Let's show him some love.
Man, let's show him.
Good things happen when you get touchy shit. Oh, let's go from 11 some love. Let's see how that goes. What's up, June? Where daddy at? Oh, right there.
No!
Touchdown. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Daddy had 9 for 168. 2 tub.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, bro. That's the only highlight of the damn football I've been living right now.
Yeah, so of course this is blown up. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone has their own opinions on it. Personally, I'll just say this. Like, my initial reaction to seeing these clips was that I personally just thought it was funny. I don't know. I mean, to me, it just seemed like two friends going back and forth, playing the game, having fun, talking crap, whatever. And, when AJ's expressing his frustration about his recent lack of offensive touches and all that, like, it's not what he's saying is untrue, and also, he didn't really seem to be doing it in a malicious sort of way or with the intent to attack anybody. Like, to me, it just kind of seemed like he was joking around about it. But look, I understand that everyone doesn't share my perspective on that. Obviously, everything that AJ says right now is under a microscope, and a lot of people are mad at him for this, saying that he's causing distractions or stirring up drama again. And I guess to some extent that is true, because now it's all anybody's going to be talking about this week, and Nick Sirianni was forced to answer a bunch of questions about it on Wednesday, to where he eventually got pretty frustrated, which is uncharacteristic of him.
Kind of business as usual with AJ. I mean, his latest comments, made it seem like it's not business as usual. Like, how do you kind of reconcile that with him?
Yeah, guys, I'm close to being done answering these questions with this. Like, he's working hard, and he is a big part of this game plan, and it'll be a big part of the game plan going forward. And he's working like crazy when he's here, and I'm excited to have him.
Look, I don't blame Coach either, because that was like the 7th question that he had to answer about A.J. Brown today. And he had already said that everything's fine and it's business as usual. But again, no denying that this has now taken up a lot of the media attention and is seen as a big distraction by some, and I get it. That said, here's the deal. 1, like Zach Berman pointed out, it must not be that bad of a distraction within the locker room if the Eagles are 7-2. 2, I know Eagles fans don't really like Elliott Shore-Parks, but he said, quote, "Having covered him his entire Eagles career, I think A.J. Brown is absolutely a positive in the locker room and someone I'd have on my team if I was a GM/head coach. And I agree with that, and all the players and coaches and guys within the Eagles organization seem to consistently say the same thing. And in regards to this specific incident on the Twitch stream, this one honestly bothered me the least out of anything else that's happened this year. And again, while it can be frustrating, just all the media attention going towards that, I do think AJ has every right to be unhappy with his production and involvement in the offense right now. I mean, he's currently on pace for the worst season of his entire career, and he's still talent-wise one of the best receivers in the world. Just for whatever reason, they're not really throwing the ball his way. So, of course, he's not going to be fully satisfied with that. Like, what other number one receiver or top receiver around the league has to deal with this? Like, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase don't have to deal with the lack of targets that AJ's dealing with right now. And yes, the number one priority is to win games, and they've done that, and that's also important to AJ too, but he also wants to contribute to winning, and they haven't really given him very much of a chance to do that recently. I mean, the bottom line is Kevin Patullo and the Eagles are not using AJ to his full potential right now, and like Seth Joyner said on WIP, that is a huge issue.
I'd be unhappy if I'm AJ. I'd be unhappy.
No, listen, I'm right there with him today because there's no way you cannot throw AJ Brown 2 targets for 2 catches and 13 yards in 60 minutes of football. That is coaching negligence because no other player in the National Football League that's a 1A type of wide receiver
would tolerate that.
Gets treated like that. You get in the lab and creatively find a way. I don't care if you got to take AJ from the X and put him in the slot and move Jahan Dotson to the X. You figure out a way to move him and get him involved and get him the football. And like that caller on The Time's Yours, what the hell happened to the slant the last couple of weeks?
I know. All right. I'm going to advocate for AJ to play cornerback. I think he's got a better chance to intercept a pass from the other team than to catch a pass on his own team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what specifically is going on with the game plan or with the play calling, but they just have to find a way to get AJ the ball. And they also just have to fix the offensive issues in general. And the fact of the matter is, Kevin Patullo and the Eagles offense have not done a good enough job this year. They've not taken full advantage of the talent that they have, the players have not executed well enough, and overall, they've just not been consistent enough. I mean, they've shown flashes, but if they don't find a way to fix these issues, it's gonna be a problem. And that was kind of AJ's message in the locker room today when he talked to the media, and he was asked about this whole thing, and he also said that he would not apologize for his comments on the Twitch stream, making light of his situation.
I believe it was a Twitch stream where you said, I think you alluded to the fact that you weren't totally happy or things weren't going well work-wise.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think if you got eyes, you can see that. You know, the same things I've been saying all season. You know, so me making light of my situation on Twitch with my friend, you know, that's something I'm not apologizing for. You know, because like I said, if you got eyes, you can see that. And so, that's me trying to like laugh through my situation. So like, it's not just solely about my situation. I mean, guys, like obviously I want to win too. You know, and I think if we're really focusing on winning and doing our job, like we can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over the defense doing their job and getting us out of trouble. Like, at what point are we gonna pick up our slack as an offense that we're so great? You know, and that's what I'm getting at. It's not about we're not winning or I don't care about winning. All I care about is stats. No, it's been week after week sometimes we're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over that and you expect to win late in the year and you think you're going to go to it at the end of the year. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, and last year what it was, thank you for the ring, but it's a new season. They adapted. We have to adapt and we have to continue to like get better and try to find new ways. So that's where the frustration comes in because it's not about winning, you guys. Like, I want to win, yes. I want to help contribute as well. Do our thing on offense as well. I think that's fair.
Personally, I am 100% in agreement with AJ here. Again, I think he was just joking around and making light of the situation, and everything else he said, I completely agree with. But what do you guys think? Give me your thoughts down in the comments below. Moving past that, though, we obviously do have a game coming up this weekend to talk about, that being the home matchup with another one of the NFC's best teams in the Detroit Lions. And while I'll talk a lot more specifically about this matchup later in the week, this is undeniably going to be a huge game. I mean, the Eagles currently sit at the top of the NFC, so every win matters. And again, the Lions are another team vying for playoff positioning, so it's a big game for playoff seeding. And right now, the Eagles actually have a 35% chance of the 1 seed, but that jumps to 52% if they beat the Lions. So again, this is a massive game. And again, you guys know that I'm going to be covering all the news and storylines leading into it. So if you don't want to miss any of that, then make sure you subscribe and you turn on notifications, again, so you don't miss any Eagles coverage coming this week or throughout the rest of the season. And also drop a like down below to show some support, because it really does help me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to at least 500 likes today. And also hit the hype button, because that helps me out a ton as well. And leave a comment just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. Again, what are your opinions on the A.J. Brown drama? And again, also, if you do want to donate to my fundraiser that I'm doing for the American Foundation for Prevention, you can do that. It's going to be linked somewhere below or next to the video. And if you want to watch another Eagles video going over the Birds' win over the Packers, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much what I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.